Today, what we're going to be doing is making a tarot wrap. I absolutely love tarot cards. Now, the way I see tarot cards is I see them as a tool of meditation. If you are going through something, if you need an answer to something, and instead of maybe talking it out with somebody, you just want to work out on your own, tarot cards can be really, really effective and a really helpful way of kind of coming to a conclusion. What's really interesting is you have cards with different ideas, different meanings, different things that they stand for, and it gives you a new route of thought to try come at an idea in a different way. So there's tons of different types of tarot cards. You've got tarot cards, you've got angel cards, you've got oracle cards, and I collect them all. I absolutely love them. Don't get me wrong, now my favourite is the Rider-Waite tarot deck. I feel like if you are getting into tarot, that is the one that you should be starting with. But I've been given lots of different tarots over the years. The one that I received recently was actually from my husband. My husband was in the charity shop because my husband loves charity shops, loves going to Chazza. And when he was in the charity shop, he found these oracle cards. So this is the Season of the Witch Samhain Oracle. I'm going to read the little back of it. It says, harness the intuitive power of the year's most magical night. Samhain is the most potent and magical of nights of the year for performing divination, ritual and spells. Now you can experience the magic and electric energies of the sacred night all year long with Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle. This beautifully designed and illustrated book of 44 deck set will connect you to the spirit realm to bring healing, understanding, protection and guidance. Love that, love that. Ideal for me because Halloween is, for me, the best day of the year. Oh, sorry, I'm having a cup of tea. I love this mug because what we have is I went to Centre Parks in 2022 and it's March and I'm filming this in March. So it's nice. I've got some little chocolate biscuits as well. So, Samhain, Halloween. Love Halloween so much. Love Halloween so much that I got married on Halloween. Me and Red got married on Halloween. We love Halloween. Halloween for us is just a night of celebration. And it's the end of the year, sort of in the sort of pagan kind of calendars. So let's see what they actually have inside of here. So I've not really looked at this too much. So what we have is this cute little book. And inside you have, okay, so like this one I've just turned to here, pumpkin. Keywords, protection, fertility, prosperity. So say for instance, if I was having like an issue where I was thinking about maybe I was having like a difficult time with a friend or a difficult time with, I don't know, like let's just say a friend, a difficult time with a friend. So pumpkin, this is what the card represents. Uncaging the spirit within thou, the fertile power you hold. To taste your buttery velvet upon tongue is a gift. I shall cherish each day that comes. So if I was having, say, an issue with a friend, maybe I thought somebody was upset with me or they were acting a little bit strange or a little bit off, maybe I could look at that and think, you know, I should cherish and maybe understand that they are kind of going through something. Maybe cherishing each day. Don't just automatically jump to the fact that it's something to do with me. Maybe I should kind of take a step back, you know, and just cherish the small things that are coming for them. So again, it's like you can interpret the cards the way you want to interpret them. Sorry, I have to have a biscuit break. I love biscuits so much. So what I thought I would do is I would make a tarot little wrap that goes with this and house the tarot cards and the book itself. So you can kind of like throw them in your bag and like, you know, have them as like a little travel kit. The book itself, let's have a look at this. I'll put this lid up. What we have is this lovely kind of black background with hints of red. So I thought, black yarn. And my friend Liz has bought me some of this Diablo mohair from Hobie. And how cute would that be? Mixing the two of them together to make this wrap. I think having something to house, something so special. And what's really beautiful about these cards, I kind of flip them out of the box, is the backs of the cards are this gorgeous red. And when you turn it to the side, you have this absolutely beautiful metallic edging. And I think having something as special as the presentation of these cards to house them in would be really important. And I think it's like a really, really beautiful way of kind of like looking after and honouring your cards. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Now, in my book, I have actually got my workings out for the other tarot wraps that I have made. I used to sell tarot cards. That was like a big seller on when I used to do crochet fairs. So this is the page of my tarot wraps. Now, these cards I purchased were mini cards. So the actual cards themselves were no bigger than a set of playing cards, so not like a standard size. So I'm going to have to rework out the sizing for this, and then I can kind of work out the standard size of these tarots and then work out the actual size of the overall kit. But it'll be really, really simple. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to crochet a really, really long rectangle. Then at one edge, we're going to taper it up into a triangular shape. Then what we are going to do on the other side is fold it over. So what we have is this long rectangle that we lay the cards on the end, and then basically that is going to create a little pocket, and we stitch down either side, if that makes sense. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to need to measure up our tarot cards. Let's just get these out of the box. Okay. So what we need is we need the width. So what you want is, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having this rectangle folding over that space. So there is going to be a bit of leeway in terms of that width. What we want is, when we're measuring our cards, we want to go from about the halfway point of the deck on the depth. So when I wrap that around, 6 inches is going to give a bit of leeway either side. So we're measuring that halfway point to that halfway point of the depth. And 6 inches actually is about maybe 3/4 of the way either side. So that is going to leave a little bit of a depth either side. Right, so let's put this back into the box. Oh, actually, no, wait a minute. What we want as well is we want to be able to store that book in there as well, don't we? So we need to make it a bit bigger. So let me have a little look at that now, about the halfway point. Right, let's do 7, because I feel like 6.5 would be too small. 7 is slightly too big, but let's just do 7, because we want it to be, I'd rather it be too big than too small. So let's put, oh, my little tablecloth's moving. Let's put them back into the box. Oh dear. Put that back in the box there. And we'll put that to one side. So we're going to be making it with this black, just this is just black DK. I think this is literally just from Home Bargains. If you are in the United States or another country, Home Bargains is kind of like a discount store here in the UK. So I'm just going to pop that there. And then I got this Hobie Diablo. Now, this is off my friend Liz. She bought me this. She was doing an order, and this I think is called Copper. Isn't it gorgeous? So let me open this up. Here we go. And we'll find the end of that. And we are going to get our black DK. And we are just going to join them together. Oh, that is going to look so fabulous, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Right. I'm going to get my little crochet kit. And I'm going to get out my 4. So this is my number 4 prim hook. So let's get 7 inches out on the tape measure. So how I do my slip knots is I wrap the yarn around my finger. I pull that back loop in front of the front loop, and then the back loop right over my finger. And that is how I do my slip knot. Stick your hook on there, and we're just going to be doing some chains. So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 30. Right, so I've got 30 so far. So let's have a little look and see. Okay, that's gone to about 7 7 1/4. So let's see how this works up, right? So we've got 30 chains. 30 chains, which is slightly over 7 inches. And then what we're going to do is we are going to crochet 2 more. 1, 2. And then we are just going to double crochet into that 3rd stitch. So basically the 30th stitch. And what we're going to do is we're going to do double crochets going right the way along. And then we're going to measure it up against that tape measure just to make sure that we're still getting that same amount of length. Someone asked me recently about when I was measuring things, do I find it accurate? And to be honest with you, I do tend to find it quite accurate, but I think it's always worth just double checking. Like, I know for a fact that with myself, if I'm making a jumper, if it's going all the way around, it's 220 stitches. Front panel 110, back panel 110. And I know that that will make a jumper that's slightly like oversized, not dead clingy, like a perfect fit. So again, it's just practice and just knowing what works. Okay, so I've just finished that last stitch. So now it is the moment of truth. Let's see. So, maybe actually I'll put it in front so you can see. So that is pretty accurate to the amount of chains. That really, really is. It's just over 7 1/4 stitches. So, sorry, 7 1/4 in length. So that is pretty accurate. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually just measure out roughly how much length we actually need. So, and how I'm going to do that is I'm going to get out 4 cards and we're going to lay them down. Like we're doing a little spread. Let's get these laid down. Because what I'm thinking... Oh, my card was stuck together there. Right. So that's roughly how long I need that to actually be. Oh, Right, so let's lay these out. So this is how long I'd want it to be. This is where the deck of cards would be, and space to put out 3 cards on the actual roll. So let's get that measured. So that is roughly 16 inches. I think what we should do is go up to 17 just to give a bit of additional space. So that is what we're going to do. I am going to crochet along 17 inches of my double crochets. And that is how... Oh, wait a minute. No, actually, hold on. So I've just put this out on a bit of a wider angle because I need to work out the length. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out 5 cards. Now, what we would have is our deck of cards would be here and 3 cards laying across. But what I'm going to have is a bit of an additional space over here to have that kind of fold over. So, where's my tape measure? So the length of the actual roll itself, when it's been folded over, I've got 16 inches. But what I need to do is I need to add in some additional inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out the width of this. So let's say 4.5. Okay, so 4.5 add 16 is 20.5. So let's take it up to 21. And I think 21 inches should be enough for the length. And then what we'll do is we'll check back in when I've got that 21 inches of double crochets, and we'll see how it fits and whether I need to add on an additional inch just to kind of give it that additional space. So I will check back in with you once that is actually done. So I've just finished doing the length of the taro wrap. I am absolutely made up with the way it's come out. How pretty is that? So I said I was going to do 21 rows. But for the last row, what I'm going to do, I've got 30 stitches. I'm going to do 5 single crochet, 5 double crochet, 10 triple crochet, 5 double crochet, 5 single crochet. So in effect, we're going to get a bit of an arch coming here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to single crochet in black going all around the taro wrap. So I'll check back in once I've done that little kind of arch. So now what I've done is I've just done 5 single crochet, 5 double, 10 treble, 5 double, 5 single. So that's just given that nice little bit of an arch. So when we finally like wrap this up, it's going to kind of have this kind of little lip to it and not just be like a straight edge. So what I'm going to do now, just in the black, to kind of give it like a bit of an outline, is I'm just going to go around in single crochets around the whole of the edge. So I've just finished the edging on the taro wrap. So now what I need to do is I need to do the fold. So I've got the cards here and the little book. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold that over. And I'm going to get a little stitch marker. And I'm just going to mark where I need. I'm just going to mark where I need that stitch to be. Sorry, you can hear Tilly making lots of little noises. Right, I'm going to put the camera down for a sec. So the entire wrap is actually 50 rows of double crochets, and I've ended up going here 23 rows. So I'm just going to fold that over and I'm going to stitch along. Now, one of the reasons why I like to do the edging in the single crochet is that is going to make it easier for us to stitch. So I'm going to stitch along here, I'm going to stitch along there, and that is going to make that pocket for the taro wrap. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to join here and I'm going to make a little sort of tab coming off here. So when I wrap this, I've got a little string that can tie around. What I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to do 4 double crochets, reduce to 2 double crochets, then reduce to 1 double crochet, and then just chain along. So you get that little peak coming up. So I have finished the crochet wrap. So what I did was I stitched down here. I made a long rectangle, folded over the end, stitched here, stitched there, and that's made my little pocket. So what I did was I found the center point. I did 4 double crochets, reduced it to 2 double crochets, then reduced it to 1 double crochet for that triangular shape. Then what I did was I just crocheted along 50 chains, and then that is going to give me, when the cards go into this little pouch, I can wrap that around and it'll keep it secure and all together. But I feel like the end needs a little something. And what I found was this little pentagram charm. Hopefully that is showing up. Sometimes my camera doesn't focus. So what I thought I'd do is I would attach this to the end. Here we go. Ooh. Okay. I'm just going to tie that in a knot at the end. So I've just tied that in a knot, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my darning needle and I'm just going to stitch back through those chains with this leftover yarn. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to stitch through that chain. Okay, so I've just gone a little bit up that chain there, and now I'm just going to cut that off. So I've just cut that little end off now. So now my chain has got this cute little pentagram just at the end. So I'm going to get my tarot cards. Well, they're more oracle cards. I'm going to take them out of the box. So I've got these absolutely stunning cards. I just love the edge, that amazing metallic red edge. And I'm going to place them now inside this little wrap, along with the book. So they fit perfectly inside there. I'm now going to roll, roll, roll. And now I'm going to wind that around. And then just fold that underneath. And there you have it. Cute little tarot wrap for my Samhain oracle cards. Absolutely amazing. How fab does this mohair, like I just love it so much. This mohair is absolutely stunning. Just mixed in with a cheap DK wool from Home Bargains. And I now have this really beautiful housing for my lovely, lovely little oracle cards from the charity shop. So I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. I am going to write a pattern for this and it will be over on the Patreon. So Patreon, my Patreon account, it's linked in the notes. It is free. I am not a pattern designer. I am just basically showing you guys what I'm doing. So I'm going to write that up in a little document and I'll stick it over there. So if you like this video, give me a little thumbs up. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers on the channel. I know, insane. And when I'm saying it, I still can't even quite believe it, to be honest with you. So 5,000 subscribers by the 23rd of September. When we hit that, I am going to do a giveaway. I'm going to do a giveaway hamper. I don't know what's going to be in the hamper yet. I'm just going to start collecting bits and bobs. Maybe I'll make a little tarot wrap and put that in there. Yeah, I think I definitely will probably put a tarot wrap in there. So if you've enjoyed the video, make sure you give us a subscribe, give us a like, and I will see you in the next one.